Anyway, no, you're the important person. So great to meet you, Andy. We just had some training for managers and heads of departments, some directors, on learning the coaching skills for manager. What does that mean specifically?
For me, it's about asking managers and leaders to take a coach approach to working with their people, which is rather than giving out answers and solutions, it's really about getting them to get their people to work things out for themselves.
All right. And in one of these courses, typically in leadership, you include coaching as a basic element?
Yeah,
Okay.
for me, a fundamental part of leading is getting people to raise their performance, to reach their expectations, and therefore coaching is the key tool for that.
What's the most important aspect of the training of coaching? Is it to practice, to learn a model, or to think differently in interacting with employees? Or
I think a couple of things. One is about understanding a flow, a structure to do effective coaching, and then secondly it's about practicing. The only way you get better at practice is doing perfect practice and getting feedback. So structure, practice and feedback.
Okay, great. We're going to be looking at feedback this afternoon. What's your favorite model there?
For me, probably the AID model. So that's around what's the action that the person took, what's the impact of that action, and then what's the desired change or the desired behaviour you want. And again, you can tell people in the feedback or you can ask them. People really know what they're doing, so you can ask or you can tell.
Okay.
So the AID model: action, impact, desired behaviour.
I also see this great advantage of working on coaching skills as well as having a better ability to do feedback in a more continuous way and with some structure, is that with a little bit of the coaching skill they could offload a lot of their the heavy stuff in their work and to trust more the teams, leverage upon their knowledge, their capacities and more.
Yeah, fundamentally the whole thing around leadership is about trust, getting people to be competent and to be trustworthy. You trust people if you understand their perspective and their viewpoint and the way that they work. If you typically see organisations, a lot of the time people will delegate things out and then they'll take it back because they don't trust. Whereas if they work through a good delegation plan and a good coaching process to support that delegation, typically the results happen. And then they can start to offload. But you have to have the belief first that people are capable and then help them get there.
And what are some of those key impacts that this can have on a way a manager deals with his team, how he confronts problems in the day-to-day business?
I think there's a couple of things. I think the first thing is, for me, managers instill confidence in their people, because at the end of the day you're asking them to figure out things for themselves, and that gives people confidence in you as their leader because you're making the effort to ask, but it also gives them confidence that their ideas are valid. Secondly, there's always follow-up with coaching. So as a leader who coaches, you do probably more follow-up and feedback than possibly a leader who's detached. And because of the type of coaching conversations you have, you're driving performance for the business, but you're also driving personal and professional growth. So that's selling a fundamental piece, is spending time to coach people, gives people that confidence, makes them perform better, also engages them more with the business, and that creates the increase in productivity.
Regarding performance, sometimes there is a trouble with low performance, I would say. Would you say that intrinsically everyone wants to perform well?
I think so.
Within a certain conditions?
If people are given the right tools, the right space, the right culture, I think people want to do great things. Any organisation that hires anyone hires someone because they bring some amazing abilities and they all turn up motivated and ready to rock on the first day. What stops them? Possibly the culture, the processes, the systems, the lack of leadership. But everyone turns up on that first day amazingly motivated, probably with most of the skills they need. And then it's the question of the leaders, the managers, to make sure that we keep them and engage them. You typically hear this whole thing around people don't leave companies, they leave their managers. And it's partly true, and probably part of that is why do they leave? Disconnection, lack of feedback, lack of development, lack of growth. And that comes from the leader that they work for. Even if that leader is constrained in terms of training budgets or cross role opportunities, you can still help people grow in whatever role. People who are motivated, typically get more motivated when they've got capacity and capability to learn and grow and develop themselves. coaching allows people to learn and grow and develop themselves. If you look at things like Daniel Pink's drive or any of the classic motivation theories, it's all about self-responsibility, self-growth, social connection. Coaching provides all of that. And I think that's why coaching has become particularly powerful in business over the last 10, 15 years, and will continue to be more powerful and more of a used tool. So rather than being coaching a thing that you do once in a while, you take a coach approach to being a leader. And you go, I would rather ask questions and develop my people rather than tell them what to do. So we go from command and control to figuring it out together.
So for the manager who just learned some capabilities, some coaching skills, what's your recommendation?
2, practice, practice, practice. And the second thing is, the person you're coaching doesn't know you're coaching or doesn't know you're doing it well or bad. So just do it. It's practice, 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 and just do it. Don't be afraid to have a go. They will never know. They will be amazed and impressed that you're helping them.